Hey guys, Beignet here,
And rug dealer.
and we're here with Will Nichols, Palm Tree God. You guys probably seen him on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Open Sea, great photographer.
What's good? What up, y'all?
What's up, man?
Yeah, so I mean, you want to start us with like how you got into the NFT space?
Yeah, sure. How I got into the NFT space specifically. I first heard about NFTs on a meeting. I have a creative collective called Finally Offline, and my partner and I were talking to Eventbrite on partnering up on some activations for 2020, and or yeah, 2020. And dude, because of COVID, like the time warp just kind of fucking has completely shifted how I view time and perceive it, and like I don't know, it's just skewed everything. But yeah, we were in a meeting with Eventbrite. Long story short, they were like, "Well, we don't really know what we can do or what's going to be possible. You guys should look into these things called NFTs, digital art, and maybe we could do something around that." And it was basically like the good play to allow us to have something digital if you know no one can attend a physical event, but also even if we had something physical, we could display digital artworks too. So it was kind of like that medium ground. And then once we got off that call, I was with my friend Pierre, who's my business partner and Finally Offline, which is the creative collective. We just kind of called each other and we were like, wait, is this like as powerful as we think this is? And we started to really look into it. And it never stopped. And that was November 2019 going into 2020. And so it was just kind of really life-changing, to be completely honest. And since then, like going into 2020 and everything, it's just kind of just an observer, a sponge. As you guys know, like the space changes very rapidly, so it seems like there's a lot of chapters that are being flipped at like a very rapid rate. So it was just kind of like just observing. It was like Nifty Gateway, like NBA Top Shop kind of stuff, collecting there, and then just started to look at my hard drives and like wonder like if these images are ever gonna leave them, honestly, and if there was ever a better place for them. So it just started to make sense to use the underlining technology to put like some of my favorite images that I've shot as a photographer over like the last decade on chain and on chain. So as an NFT, so I just started to explore what that would look like, and yeah, I just never really looked back. I came out with a first collection of that was like a tribute to Kobe. I had taken photos for the Los Angeles Clippers and was able to shoot his last away game at the Staples Center,
Nice.
which is kind of interesting because like there was really no such thing as an away game for Kobe Bryant at the Staples Center. Like it's a home game, even if you're a Clippers, like if you're the Clippers organization, it's still Kobe's. Like,
Well, that's legendary too because last podcast we talked about how Staples Center is now crypto.com. So it's funny that you bring that up.
yeah, it's full circle. So I like every Monday I would upload a photo from that collection. It was only 5 images. And then like on the last week, on the 5th week, that's when like they started to get bought. And then I already knew I wanted to do palm trees and put my palm trees on there. I've been shooting palm trees for a long time now, and basically like the only thing I've started to shoot and really focus on for like the last 3 years exclusively. And so I just kind of like curated my collection somewhere else, 100 Palms, and I locked myself in a room for like 48 hours, like created like this like gradient grid of 100 palm trees and just kind of put it out to the world and offered it to my collectors that I already had from the pieces that I had released before, building up to it. And then, yeah, it just kind of just been building ever since and getting to understand a little bit more about like the possibilities of smart contracts and how you could kind of like play with them and really start to like use them as a canvas itself. Like it's like an underlying
It's an
canvas
art.
of what, you could see, which is like the NFT, right? But
Yeah.
How did you, like when you started taking photos, did you just, were you taking pictures of, and then how did you start where did like your love of palm trees come from?
So how I got into photography, I was basically working for a magazine called High Snobiety. They're like a pretty big like menswear magazine, but at the time they weren't. They were like in their infancy, and I was their only West Coast correspondent on the team at all, and I was their social media manager. And this is when they had like 8,000 followers, so they like wanted me to be like their face, I guess, to like represent, you know, them going to events and kind of like, you know, just being in the community and the culture. So, you know, they gave me a budget to buy like a small like point and shoot camera that was like no more than $200. It honestly broke down on me like couple weeks in, and I just started using my my camera phone to just take photos. Then my homegirl Liz, she created an agency, like a social media like photography agency, and it was like the first social media agency I'd ever heard of. And she created it. It was called Cycle, and they got bought out by like Wasserman within like a year. And she like basically signed me to a deal. And that's when I was like, fuck, I gotta get a camera. Like I have to get a real camera now, because I was just taking photos off of my iPhone. And she hit me like the next week after she signed me. She's like, yo, I got a Jordan gig for you. Like, you ready? And I was like, in my head, I was like, hell yeah. But like, I looked around, I was like, well, what camera? What camera am I about to do this? And ironically, like, it's so crazy how shit works out. But there was like a 100-person poker tournament. I wasn't even supposed to fucking play. And I go in, my friend's like, yo, my girl came home early. I'm sliding out of this party. You can have my seat. If you win, like, just break me off a couple $100. It was $5,000 we're going to take off. And I didn't lose a hand. I didn't lose a fucking hand, and I won the whole shit in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Nice.
And next thing I know, I had like just $5,000 in fives just like being thrown at me for the humor. And I was like, all right, well, I guess like I'm going to get a camera. Spent $2,000 on a camera. I gave my mom $1,000. I saved $1,000, and I wasted $1,000. And it was like the most like balanced thing I'd ever done in my life. And honestly, like once I got that camera, like I never looked back. It was just kind of like what I just did every day. And opportunities just kind of continued to like fall in my lap after that. But it's been a long journey. So I'm just excited to now be here, like in like, you know, this new renaissance, and have like,
Yeah, it's dope.
yeah, and have fun with it, man. Like, you know, I feel like people know me for photography, but that's like 1/10 of who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's what I'm known for the most, but like my creativity is very limitless. Like I could get an idea to want to do something, and I'll just do it just because I can and want to. And like, I don't know. I don't like wondering what if. It feels like a fucking itch I can't scratch when I wonder what if. So I always try to at least like do it.
Yeah. And I mean, I saw a tweet you put out, I believe it was last night, about how if you have an idea that's causing you to lose sleep, you're going to bring that idea to fruition no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I resonated with that. You know, that's just such a great mentality to have, not just in this space, but just in life. Right. But I mean, what's sort of the rest of the inspiration behind the palm trees? I mean, I'm looking outside here. There's
there's a bunch
there's
of
a
palm
bunch
trees.
of palm trees here. And I just really want to know, like, what made you pick palm trees as sort of like your Genesis collection in this space?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just always gravitated towards them. Like when I was figuring out how to use that first camera that I was, you know, had just described on how I got, I was in like a relationship that was kind of toxic. So like being at home with Shorty or ex, whatever, like it was just annoying. It was just toxic. It was arguments. It was this, it was that. So, you know, I was like, fuck it. Like I live in LA, I live on the west side. Like I'm gonna go walk the beach and learn how to take photos at like a place that I enjoy looking at with my eyes. Like at least I'll know, like I'll find something to take a photo of. And over time, like palm trees just kind of like talk to me. Like I would start to characterize them. I would start to like have fun editing them. And like, I don't know, there's so many different ways you could shoot palm trees. Like they could be silhouetted and they're just black, or you could like bring out the textures and show like, I don't know, like their stature and like how they're like imperfect, and how like they're sometimes in clumps or individual,
Or they curve. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I just started to really like not even think, bro. Just doing it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as like I found myself falling in love with them more and more, it almost felt like people started to like appreciate them and look at them a little bit more and more. Maybe obviously because that's what I was showing and displaying of my art form, but like it was like it is like a dope relationship. Like so many people actually have like appreciation and admiration for palm trees. It's crazy. Like all walks of life. Like it could be like the hoodest dude to like the randomest person. Like when a lot of my friends have never been to LA, come to LA like from the Midwest, like it's the first thing that they notice. Like they've never seen a fucking tree that looks like that. So I don't know. I don't really even know why, but like at first it was like a form of therapy and just to escape like an environment I was in.
Mm-hmm.
But then that turned into like a love and a passion, and it's kind of taken on a life of its own, to be completely.
That's awesome. I mean, it's now like your personal brand. Like between us and all the people that we like hang out together, they're always posting like palm trees and tagging you. I'm posting palm trees, tagging you. And it's just so funny because like that's just you now. You are the palm trees, or the palm trees are you, either way.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and it's like a cool positive vibe. Like it's like it very much so embodies like I feel like who I am as my energy. Like it just like very mellow, very
Just
chill.
flowing with the wind.
Yeah, just chilling, man. Just like hanging out, just like happy to be here. Like I feel like that's what palm trees are. They're just chilling.
Yeah,
bro.
they're just chilling.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, palm trees are pretty crazy. You see them getting like trucked in sometimes to like Beverly Hills and stuff because they don't obviously start this big. Like these are old palm trees and they have to get planted.
For sure, a lot of them here came and were planted and like seeded around the whole city for the Olympics in like the 70s.
Yeah, they're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah,
like they're not native to LA at all, but like it's kind of part of LA now.
Exactly. There's only like 1 or 2 species that are actually native here, but like there's so many different species too, and like that's a whole nother topic. Like I'm not too versed on like the names of them, but I definitely have like the favorites, and it's like I like the skinnier tall ones that just look crazy with that have like a pretty like robust like top. It's funny. It's like I don't know, they just have a lot of character when they're like
they do. They're so different too.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking trees, bro. It's funny. Like I way rather shoot trees than people all day. Like honestly, I hate photographing people. Like it's like if that feels like a job. Like palm trees, taking photos of palm trees, like literally gives me relaxation. It's like no one gives a fuck about this but me, and like, like that's great.
That's funny that you say that because I know someone who's like a photographer just for fun, like it's a hobby, and she always says, I only take pictures of non-talking subjects. So animals, nature and stuff. Cause she's like, it's annoying when you have to take pictures of people because you need to tell them like, hey, like they need to be okay with the way it looks. You need to frame it a certain way versus non-talking subjects. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's you.
I like photographing people only in one instance where it's not like, like you're saying, like it's more like BTS. Like it's more like you're just documenting the times that are unfolding.
Candid.
Yeah, it's candid. You're documenting a week long with like an artist, and like you're going from A to Z to wherever. Like you don't know, it's spontaneous. Like your photos, when you guys look back at like that week, like you're able to tell like what happened in the journey, but it's never forced. Like it's never like, I don't know, like an editorial where it's like, it's all set up and there's production. Like
it's more like the street photography, just
like
taking pictures of things that are there. When you see them, you're like, "This is cool." Boom, picture.
Yeah, because that's how I shoot. Like I don't like production with photography. Like it's too thought out. I like to capture the moment as organic as it feels.
It's less restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you were to have any tips for, say, a photographer, anyone in that creative space right now that hasn't tapped into NFTs yet, or that whole, the Web3 renaissance as you were referring to, what would that be?
Just do it straight up. On some Nike shit. Like dive into it. Like every day that you don't, you're falling behind.
Facts.
Every single day.
That's facts.
Like,
I mean, you bring up Nike, you look at what they did yesterday with Artifact.
Yeah.
With the whole Clone X collection. And I mean, as much hate as that's getting on Twitter and social media, I think the move was great. It's bringing more eyes on the space. And, just like with what Adidas did with
apes. I think that what Nike
did they do?
I think that what Nike did is way more of a power move than what Adidas did.
What did Adidas do besides just like some content?
Think they just partnered with apes in some way. I don't know. I just saw a bunch of apes wearing Adidas tracksuits, Adidas hoodies, and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what they've done, like besides just like cool content.
I think that Adidas bought land in Sandbox, so they're kind of a foot ahead of from Nike because Nike partnered with Roblox, and Roblox
Right.
is centralized. So it's like a seesaw of balance.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I was referring to like everything that they're promoting. Like, did they drop something yet, or is it like as I see on Twitter, right? Like all like the Bored Apes and stuff like rocking Adidas gear, and I'm like, is it just like, did they Photoshop it how we do like when we pull up to New York with our Nike hats on, like, or is this like something like they've actually dropped? Like, I'm curious to see because like, I mean, Adidas and Nike, they hate each other. They're always gonna hate each other. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a rivalry.
And it's so funny because all the people that work at the companies, like, they just flip and flop different companies all the time. Like, they work at Nike for 4 years, then go to Adidas, and then go back to Nike.
Well, look at Kanye, right? He had a Nike deal for a long time, and then now he's Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how all the brands move into the space.
Yeah, what's crazy, speaking of brands, is the other night we were up like super late. We were looking, and then we saw a Pretty Little Thing. Do you know that brand?
Yeah, it's like it's
like fast fashion for like girls. And we saw that they had a pink fur ape. And so I looked up the traits on OpenSea and I was like, what wallet is this in? And the wallet that owns it is the CEO of Pretty Little Thing and Boohoo. And he also has a male ape and a girl punk and a guy punk. We were like, what?
He's about to make his whole jump off.
Yeah, that's what we thought too. And then him and his wife or significant other have matching, or not matching, but like she has an ape.
His
or
and her
she has
punks.
a punk, sorry. And then he also has a punk as their Twitter profile pictures.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is that people are gonna stop just trading IP and just are gonna start to build upon it, and just like characterize them and build it out. Like when, like, I don't know, like if you've, especially in music, I guess I'll just use it for a music case, but like usually you have to build your community or you have to search for it. Like with this shit, the community is built in. Yeah. Never ever has there been a situation where you could like, you have an audience already built in. Yeah. Like that's like
just that one retweet,
bro. It's like signing to like, it was like how Don Toliver signed to Travis Scott. Like Travis Scott already had a whole grove of a fucking audience, so he could just hand select any fucking
that is true.
artist to tap into his community. Yeah,
you have the community around your record label because you're the artist, and then you bring people on and you put them on basically, and then they can go and fly after and do whatever they want.
Straight up. That's why I think it was such a genius move for UTA to sign CryptoPunks, because in one foul swoop they took like the most prominent IP, as to where now like their competitors like a CAA or whoever else, like what the fuck are they gonna do? Go talk to whales that have like 40, 50 versus like 10,000?
But the holder doesn't own the IP, right, for punks?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like UTA went and did it with Larva Labs direct, so they have all the IP.
Right.
So with Bored Apes, like now the other competitor, like a CAA, has to then go talk to the individuals of who own the IP, which is an exponentially harder thing to do. Because
you have to contact 5,000 people.
Yeah, exactly.
And have them agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
No, and knowing the people that are in the space, they're probably going to get contacted by them and be like,
they'll
thanks for the offer,
it and then block them.
Yeah, they'll screenshot it and post it on Twitter.
Nah, man, I'm trying to talk. I'm talking to them. Like I'm trying to work with them, because I'd rather have my cool cat be on the fucking face of a Coke can and making passive income than me have to sell it or something, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So it's like,
and they're already marketing geniuses. Why try to reinvent the wheel?
Exactly. So it's like, I think there's like pros and cons to it all, but I definitely think like being able to use the rights that, these communities are granting us for like the right reasons with the right intentions, could go a long way.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. And I mean, it's just, because I mean, recently there's been this whole conversation of like, should collections or creators give their holders IP rights, right? And I mean, it goes both ways. At one point, it's like there are pros and cons to both of them, but personally, I do believe holders should be able to retain full IP ownership. But it goes both ways. So it's a conversation for another day. But that is a very interesting topic you bring up, because I do think more Web2 organizations are going to come in looking for that IP ownership. They're not really going to care about the art or the holder utility. They just want the rights to it, right? Because they're thinking big money. They're thinking, how could we capitalize on pretty much owning this brand, right?
If I was a movie studio or like an entertainment studio, I'd blow the bag on getting everything.
But then at that point, why reach out to people? Just buy it from them.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally, I would just make my own inventory. I would like sweep the floors of like 100 items, 200 items deep.
Well, because they got the pockets.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, it's a write-off at that point. Just fucking.
It's a write-off.
It's a business expense.
And it's nothing for them. Granted, they have billions.
And right
marketing.
now, a company doing that comes with its own clout. Because you see people like us on Twitter and we're like, what? No way.
Come on. if MGM or something, right? Like if Warner were to like buy up literally like 300 cats and spend, 150 million on it.
No, it would be a party for like a whole month, dude.
Like, you don't think when that cat movie drops, it's going to go stupid? Like the community is going to rage, bro.
Yeah, it will.
That's how you could buy the community by buying the thing. It's kind of like Visa.
And it'll bring a lot of people too, because like, imagine a TV show, like a kid show or a movie with the cats on them.
You start your own Disney.
People will be like, what is this? And then go look into it. Oh, it's NFTs. Oh, crypto. And then just now you're stuck in the rabbit hole. You can't get out.
Yeah. And I mean, back to talking about you. I mean, you are, as we know, a very creative person. What are some other things you've been dabbling with? I mean, I know you're sitting down on something that you designed.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
So 3 years ago, I ran into my friend at Outside Lands Music Festival. I hadn't seen him in probably 5 years in person. So it was like really refreshing to catch up. And we were just talking about, some of our ambitions and goals we want to do within the next, couple of years. And one of them was furniture. We had an overlap with furniture. I've always wanted to design a chair. Like I've studied artists, and like every ill artist that I has made an ill chair. Like it's like a rite of passage to me in my head. And so I was like, fuck, I gotta make an ill chair. So we just basically just started making a chair. We just started designing it. He has an architectural and woodworking background. So we basically just had a stand-in meeting every week for 3 years and continued to just build on it and do different iterations and test things and try things, and we just didn't stop working for those 3 years. And this year we were able to debut it, and the chair turned into 2 chairs. One was like a more high end, with like high end finishings, high end everything. We didn't like spare any expense or idea or thought with that. And then on the other one, on the contrary, on the other collection, like we didn't want to compromise our design integrity, but we still wanted to like have something with a more friendly price point. So we made a whole nother line. So the chair design that we like had agreed upon basically turned into a whole furniture brand. And we're starting to like build upon that. We like released it this year softly. And next year we're really going to start to go hard with it a little bit and really try to be like, the new modern like household furniture brand name and home goods name for like, our generation.
For Web3 or
for both, because honestly we want to build, products that last forever. That's like what our whole mantra is. Like we're building with intent. Sustainable. And like, it's like, it's not an IKEA piece of furniture. Like the chairs that we're sitting on, like that one's 3,300. This one's 500.
We'll pop those up on the screen for people watching.
And like they're both built to last forever. Like this shit could last you a lifetime, know. And with the leather one, it gets better with time because like the leather starts to break in and form fit, and like it's really interesting. And like that's where it makes so much sense for us to build in the Web3, because we build products that will last you a lifetime, and like the digital products that you have are going to last you your lifetime. So it's like we found some parallel in that. And like honestly, like our brand like slogan is united by design, and like you could see everything that's being united by design on Web3 right now, and it's literally like that's everything that's tying everything together. And I just think there's a lot of overlap and parallels, and I'm excited to build into the new space with like this medium and this industry and this lane of creativity. Like I don't know, I'm weird. I'm able to like categorize my thoughts and like my ideas and like have whole visions for them, and like I build systems out to make those visions come to reality. And like with Web3, like the plethora of fucking systems that I want to build to like have to like all eventually like coexist and like fall under like this, not a tree, it's more like an octopus, I feel like, with an infinity arms, bro.
Yeah, in different directions,
in different
right?
directions.
But
Like,
that's the beauty of it. It's like the blockchain, everything's connected. So like one day when your furniture is up there, you could be connected to like whatever Facebook. Let's say Facebook has a digital place where you can live and hang out with your friends, and then you could put the furniture there. You could put it in Sandbox and Decentraland, wherever.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
totally. Yeah, no, it's fun. Like, there's so much room for potential. Like, there's exponential potential, and I've never felt like that before till now, which is exciting.
And that's what makes you so unique as a person, because, you know, you came into the space, I believe, as a collector at first, right? With like Top Shot and those other NFTs. And then you quickly adapted, became a creator because you understood your skill set with photography and all that. And now you're going into a space that probably no one would have assumed unless you would have, you know, spoken about it, right? Which is furniture. And I think it's so cool. Like, you killed it with these pieces. And, you know, I really can't wait to hopefully pick a couple up for myself.
Yeah, no,
like they're really dope pieces, and we'll go ahead and include the photos. And it's a 3-piece set, right?
Yeah, so basically, the first, you know, offering is a 3-piece set. And like, this is the IRL offering. So the brand name is Human Age. And we have our Craftsman collection, which is basically, we want to create moments in your house. This moment is to be like a moment where you can have dialogue with, you know, between whoever you're enjoying your time with, or just be very in your zone, like isolated and like be present, I guess, is where the common thread is just being present. So we have like a standing lamp, a side table, and the chair. We felt like that was like a really cool moment that could be found in someone's home and that could be curated well, and could, you know, contribute to the thought of being present and like encourage being present.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a vibe. I would definitely get that and just have it in my office.
It definitely keeps like, you in the present too. When you're sitting and you're like, this is comfortable. I could just sit here and just draw, take pictures, art, be on Twitter or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, in this little office we're in, like, sometimes I just come here, smoke, and think. Like, I don't even do anything. I just like think, and whatever fucking thoughts come to my mind, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know. It's like I just like give my mind like the like time to like allow it to not be like, I don't know, bombarded. Like, our mind is constantly bombarded, even like subconsciously, like with billboards and like all this shit. And like sometimes it's good to find like your space where you could just like kind of let it all go.
No, I definitely agree. And speaking of that, I mean, the space, as we were saying earlier, is so fast moving. I feel like everyone should have, you know, sort of a space or an environment where they could just let loose, put down their phone, and just think.
Totally.
Because I feel like even myself, sometimes I tend to forget that. You know, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go sit down and maybe read something for a sec. And then I'm like, oh shit, let me check Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a cycle of just doing that.
Or even waking up in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, you have like, I have these like nightmares sometimes of like missing out on something great or stuff getting taken. And I wake up and I'm like, oh God, what? And then I go check my phone real quick, like make sure everything's okay. And I'm not just like that I'm actually dreaming. Cause it's scary sometimes.
For sure. I think, you know, we were all like uber consumed by all of it because it's so exciting, and like, it's only natural to be burnt out at a certain point, right? Like, and like, especially like coming into the holiday season, I'm sure a lot of people are. So like, you know, this is a good time to just kind of like take time for yourself. I feel like, you know, a lot of shit isn't really happening right now. Like, it's like, take time for yourself and get ready for next year, because it's going to be fucking crazy. Like, that's literally how I feel.
Yeah. Well, because right now, when nothing's happening on the like front facing side of things, everyone's on the back building. I guarantee you all these companies, like tons and tons of companies right now, figuring out ways how to get involved, especially after the Facebook announcement. Once Facebook came out and was like, oh, we're doing metaverse stuff, everyone was like, that was like the fire under everyone's ass. Like, oh my God, we got to get on this. Yeah. Everyone knows about metaverse.
No, totally. I think I think this year was just the trailer to the feature film that's coming.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I mean, it's like he was saying with the whole Facebook news, that sort of brought in a whole nother market into the space. And, you know, Coinbase Marketplace isn't even out yet. So it's like, just imagine how many people are going to be getting into the space. It's just insane.
Dude, Facebook Marketplace. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Facebook is probably going to have a marketplace too. They already do.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a virtual mall.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be shoppable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm scared of the ads though. Not going to lie. Because if you look at the way the ads are curated so well to you right now, and it makes you want to buy things because it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for when I was talking about it 3 days ago with my friend.
Totally.
Let me buy this. Imagine you're spending 24 hours or not 24 hours, but like 10, 12, 16 hours a day in the metaverse where I'm seeing a billboard that has ads for me. He's seeing a billboard that sees ads for him.
The same billboard.
The same billboard, yeah.
Totally.
Except it's different for everyone. It's
Yeah.
kind of freaky.
People are gonna get wrecked mentally, but that's why I'm definitely not hanging out in the Facebook's metaverse, bro. I don't trust them. How can I? Like, they're literally being sued right now for genocide, for causing a genocide. Like, why the fuck would I ever trust that company? like we're talking about we're all gonna make it. They're literally erasing people. Like it's fucked up, bro.
No, I what's crazy too is I saw a story of there was this girl on Instagram and her handle on Instagram was Metaverse. And they just took it.
Oh, did they take it?
Yeah,
I saw that she had it, and like someone was like, sell it for like whatever.
Yeah, people were like, you're gonna be able to sell that for a crazy amount of money, and then she woke up one day and it was gone.
Yeah,
they changed her thing and they took it for themselves.
Well, it's not like she owns it.
She doesn't own it.
Exactly.
So
it's
it's
tiny and S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
not surprised they rugged her.
Yeah. So what would you say your favorite NFT collection is? I mean, obviously besides Palms, like what is your favorite NFT collection that you are a collector in?
From a PFP standpoint, I was actually having a conversation with my friends about this, like Zach and stuff. But it's Cool Cats, like,
yeah,
dude, like, it's sick. Like, how many cities have we gone to and all hung out? Like, what brought us all together? It's like that community.
Yeah,
it's like really fostered some lifelong friendships. Like Ty, you came over on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have known you if it wasn't for Cool Cats.
No, it's crazy.
You
and
know
the fact that we know someone who like we were both pretty close with, and then you brought that up. I was like, what? How do you know him? I know him like in like my previous life, I guess, when I was younger, but like you know him now, and that's like the connection. But Cool Cats is also the connection. It's crazy.
Yeah, Cool Cats is really like the nucleus of a lot of shit, and I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that they're doing. Klon's the homie. Shout out Klon. Like everyone's really cool. Like it's just like it feels like as time is going on, like we're all becoming closer and more tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, yeah, it just is. I'm really excited about that. Like those types of moments, I'm sure they're happening in other communities. Like you could see it in like Apes and X, Y, and Z, right? And like I think that's really special. Like that's the stuff that like money can't buy, right? And it's also not easy to find either. Like you can go into another project and like it's not that vibe, or it's not like it's a whole different situation. Like I don't know, you can't really replicate it.
True. Like we went to a couple events in NFT New York City, Miami, and all that. And what people have been telling us, because like I've been helping throw the community events for Cool Cats, and people are like, the vibe is just not the same. Like Cool Cats vibe is just so mellow. It's like going to like a family potluck. You just go and hang out and chill. Everyone's super nice. Like you've known them forever.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very refreshing, and dope. So I'm excited to see. And then like from, like, yeah, from a PFP perspective, definitely Cool Cats. And then like a one-of-one, like art, like a more smaller art, like boutique artist collections. Like there's so many. I'm just happy that, you know, everyone that has them was able to fucking do it and do it this year. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that we just like continue to like encourage artists to drop their collections
100%.
because that's the only way this shit's gonna continue.
Yeah, I mean it's their time. The spotlight's on them. You just step into the spotlight.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Figure
it out. Ask people.
For sure. And what are some like more broad tips that you would give someone that's just coming into the space blindly, just wants to get into NFTs? Like, like what would you consider doing your own research?
Yeah, so every time I talk to or on board or have the conversation with people, I always just express to them the importance of honestly, like obviously the security MetaMask thing, like MetaMask and like security of MetaMask. That's number one,
huge.
uber important. Number two is ENS to me, like secure whatever IP you might want to secure
because you're still early. I mean, I bought animal fries the other night and I wrapped my ETH, and I was gassed up on that, but there's still a lot of things available, and there's a few that I have favorited, and I'm not going to expose them here because they're really good, and he knows what they are. But
yeah, we'll tell you after.
Yeah, no, dude, it's so sick because like I get ideas like all the fucking time that I want to like trademark or hit my lawyer up to be like, yo, get this with me, like whatever. And like now I don't have to do that. I just go to fucking ENS, I type it in, and I secure it. I could fucking sit on it for all my life and decide to do it when I'm 50.
Yeah.
And I'll still have the ability to do it as long as like I have that NFT. And like that is extremely important.
Yeah. ENS is crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
I didn't realize how sick and powerful it was until the day when I was trying to transfer stuff from my main wallet to like to another wallet, and I was freaking out. I was really scared that I was sending it to the wrong address. Because like imagine you mess one character up and that address doesn't exist or whatever, and it's gone forever. ENS, just type in the letters, so much easier to send stuff.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I was getting a refund for a flight that I paid for in crypto, and like I was talking to the BitPay people or whatever, and the people that were helping me, and she's like, "What's your Ethereum address?" And I was like, willnichols.eth, and she's like, "No, like what's like the big ass number?" and I was like, "Yeah, no, like have you heard of EN?" Like I put her on and like this thing I love about ENS, and she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah, she had probably been doing that like the whole time of her job. Like,
dude,
you know
I can't imagine that being a job. Typing in however many characters.
Well, I mean, you just copy paste, but
yeah. How do you copy paste the paperwork, bro?
Oh,
if it's written down, or even filling it out, I can't imagine writing my whole address like character by character with a pen.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was mad annoying, but that's like something I'm really excited for. Obviously, that's like my word of advice is like get your IP. Like you could sit on it forever, but if you have the name, if you have a restaurant, get your fucking restaurant name. If you have a name, if you have a first name and a last name, my nigga, you should probably get your ENS. Like,
or just your first name. You don't know. People have
like, bro, it's not hard. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's definitely always like the first thing. What NFT should I get? ENS, bro.
Yeah,
like let's start there.
No, that's true.
Because
it's crazy powerful.
Yeah, it's not one you're gonna regret. It's like your handle.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's still. But, it's still cheap in retrospect to other projects you could get into now.
For sure.
If it's 5 characters or longer, shit is really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking, we were like, dude, why don't we just buy stuff for like 50 years? Like, it's not that much more.
Straight up. I have a couple that are like locked in for like a decade plus.
Yeah, sure. We've been buying like 1 to 3 years.
I've been doing 5 years on them. I feel like that's a decent amount of time to be able to be like, oh shit, time. I already have the reminder set on my phone, renew ENSs.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, I got one this week. It's called Photo Quest.
Nice.
I thought it would be sick to do like, I don't know, like some sort of scavenger photography, like gamification IRL thing where like, people could like be rewarded for taking photos throughout different places in the country. But like, if I wanted to have done that, I would have had to like insecure it. Like I would have had to like call my lawyer, email my lawyer and be like, yo, I need this trademark for this class. And pay a band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now
just
it's
to talk
like
to the lawyer.
Just to have them do it. And now it's like, all right, cool. I can pay like whatever it is, like 400, 500 or whatever that is in ETH, right? Like point, whatever, like probably like whatever. Like
0.023.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
0.04 or 8, whatever. And then it's just secured. I don't have to go to anybody. I love that. I do it all the time. Like it's powerful.
So, it's the whole like thing of owning all your own stuff and all that is super cool. How do you feel about these Web 2 companies, because we were talking about them earlier, coming into the space? Because their whole goal is like centralization, owning basically owning us. So like, how do you feel them trying to go into our space?
Good luck. Because once I think we're gonna have like a shift in society and how humans interact with each other and how humans value their time, which is uber important in the sense of like if you rethink how people value your time and like being compensated for your time, then like would you really even do your job? Like I bet you like 80% of people wouldn't be even doing their job if they didn't have to do it for like the monetary reason.
Yeah.
Now if like there's like some sort of like live to earn situation where they're able to tap into their passion and be rewarded for it, like where is where is that going to fit in with your job? Like why would you do your job at that point? You wouldn't. Like your job would then be to like follow your passion and follow what you really want to do. And I hope that that's where we kind of head towards, but I don't see something like that coming to fruition without a lot of demise from Web 2.
I mean, you already see that whole situation of people doing what they love with social media, like YouTube, Instagram, and all that. Like people are living, maybe some people are not, but some people are just doing creative stuff that they like doing and making money off of it. But it'll definitely be cool to see when it's fully out of the hands of big companies and stuff.
Yeah, I think they have to rearrange and transition completely into a Web3 ecosystem where it's not about just the money, it's about the people. And like a lot of companies can't comprehend that. They literally won't be able to. So like, yeah, I think it's bad for those.
I agree with that. I mean, like you're saying, they can't comprehend that. They're just so fine tuned to like think in the other direction and treat community as sort of like, you know, on the back burner.
Or just a marketing tool.
Yeah. Then no, they just think of us as bankroll. Like this is how we make money is you guys, and sucks to suck that we're using you.
Yeah, I mean that's why like was it Home Depot or somebody like they like fired like I don't know like 2,000 people on one Zoom, and then like the CEO had to like step down and like it was like a whole thing, and it's like bro like yeah I mean like they don't give a fuck like they're as long as the shareholders are happy, bro, like and their pockets are getting bigger, they're not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think it's time that everybody like starts to think like that for themselves. Like, not the company think like that for the people. Like, the people have to think about like what priorities do I want to do? Like, and that's why I hope like Web3 can start to like do like play to earn. Like, play to earn is like a real first use case of like live to earn to me. Like, wait till it's like Netflix. Oh, like for every 3 hours you get an NFT or you get airdrop X tokens. Not. Bro, I might watch movies for the next week because I can.
Like NFTs for going to a premiere or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that type of lifestyle would be so fire, bro. Like really having people live the way that they want and be compensated for.
Then
like,
you're just living. Yeah. You're not shackled by your job and then have to do a 9 to 5 and then go home, get rest, and then repeat. Just 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens because like those are some crazy ambitions, right? But like, I don't know. Something's gonna happen. I just don't know what.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Like we were saying, this next year, I think is gonna be more focused on building, but in the next 3-5 years, even I think we're gonna see a big shift.
I think the biggest shift that we're gonna have to make is convincing people that are like older than us the value of digital assets. Because for the young people, for us, it's pretty clear. It's pretty simple. Like, hey, you own this. You guys are already buying camo skins and outfits on Fortnite and all that. Why not own it?
I mean, the hard reality with that is like some of them are just, they're never going to admit that. They're never going to get it. But and they could stay behind. They could do their own thing. But I don't think this revolution is going to stop. The Web3 renaissance it's not going to stop.
Yeah, that's why I think earlier on in the conversation we were like, get in as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Like if you're here today versus tomorrow, the person that was here today is going to have a big advantage than the person that's going to be here tomorrow. It's like, it's so obvious, but people are afraid of the of shit they don't know. And like the unknown is fucking scary to a lot of people. I love that shit. Like that means there's opportunity. Like, like you don't want opportunity. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. Or maybe a lot of people aren't living on this planet for the same reasons too. And like, that's why everyone is so unique. And like, everyone's a one of one mint themselves. Yeah. Bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, That's really what this is, bro. Like, Earth is nothing more than like a metaverse with 3 billion or 4, 7, 8 billion, wherever we're at, 8 billion people with like just one of ones, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. And yeah, I mean, thank you for taking the time to be on our podcast.
Well, thank you for having us here, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
For people who are watching, this is Will's studio office, like where he has his furniture and stuff, and it's dope.
Yeah, of course, always, man. Family. You already know what it is.
Thank you again, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you later. Peace.
We're all gonna make it.